Welcome, everybody. My name is Matt Johnson. I'm counsel to New Hampshire Realtors. Today, we are bringing another risk management subcommittee risk management video to you. The topic today is wire transfers and electronic fund transfers. With me today is Ivanna Zakas. She is an attorney at Foy Law Group, and also with me is Brendan Battenfelder. He is a member of the risk management subcommittee. Thank you both for helping me out today. First, Ivanna, could you explain for the audience what the steps are when a wire is initiated? When can you actually comfortably say you have the funds? Say you're the selling broker and you're looking for a wire transfer to put into your escrow account for a deposit on a transaction. When is it safe to say we have the funds?
Sure. So when a wire is initiated, there are a lot of protocols that both the bank from which the wire is being sent and the receiving bank go through a verification process before the wire is actually completed. So the person initiating the wire may even receive some sort of confirmation number. They may see the funds leave their account, but we don't consider the wire sent until funds are actually in our receiving account. And that means that it's gone through the whole verification process through both banks.
Yeah, that's good advice. So you shouldn't rely on a text message or a note from the buyer's agent saying, hey, we sent the money, right?
Correct. That only means that they initiated the wire with their bank. But there can be instances where something is off in the way that they initiated the wire. For example, the way that they listed the name on the account might be wrong, and that can have, that can make the wire not go through.
Thank you. And Brendan, that sounds somewhat foolproof, but my understanding is you've had experience with even with all those steps, nothing is ever 100% in life, right?
100%, Matt, and thank you, Ivanna, as well. That is exactly what we experienced at one point, where one of those electronic transfers, we had received confirmation that it was sent. We notified the seller that we have the earnest money in hand, but that those dollars were withdrawn due to a mismatched name in that transfer. So, we jumped the gun and probably notified the seller too early when those funds did not set in our account. So we definitely have to be careful.
Great. Good to remind everybody, make sure you have the money in the account, make sure it's there, pause. There's no need to rush about it, and don't get ahead of the transaction. Now, speaking of wire transfers, that is a significant way that funds are transferred to facilitate real estate closings in New Hampshire. Ivanna, can you touch on some of the best practices or tips to make sure that you do not become victim of any of the giant amount of wire fraud that is out there targeting real estate transactions?
Sure. So one way is just to avoid wires altogether if possible. So if it's possible to get a certified check, that is preferred, just a certified bank check. But if that's not possible, then we really need to be careful about confirming wire instructions and confirming them through a phone call, not just using the number that's on the email where the wire instructions were sent. And look out for just things that don't match up because scammers are very good about impersonating names. So just watching the email that it's coming from, because it may have the correct name of the person, but it's not actually their email. It's not actually their phone number. So just making sure to really verify wiring instructions before sending the wire. Because once the wire is sent, those funds are gone.
That's a great point, particularly the point to make sure whatever you do not use the number that it's identified in the email. You should have a different number from a different contact through your own web search or from your own business relationship. Call that separate number. Never rely on the number that's given in an email. That's one of the traps they use to get you to call someone they know. Brendan, my understanding as well is that you had seen some circumstances where one of the tricks has been to at the last minute suggest that there's been an account change. Can you explain that to the audience?
It was certainly prevalent the last few years, but where the client will receive an email even hours, if not the day prior to a transaction, saying we've changed accounts or we've updated our wiring instructions, please see below. Ivanna pointed out they often come from a spoof email. So we encourage agents to, and maybe they're not copied them, but we encourage agents to stress again, like you said to Matt, please call and verify any numbers, wiring instructions with those you're wiring to ahead of time. So we have to be careful of those changes and those spoof emails.
And again, it sounds like be very careful, but if you can do it and there's enough time in the transaction, get a certified bank check. It seems like in some ways going back to the old way may be the safest and most secure way. I'm told at least that the safest form of communication that is almost completely unhackable is a fax machine. That the fax transmission by way the data is broken up cannot be hacked into. So anyway, with that, thank you both for helping us. This is very much a hot topic. This is great information you provided the membership. We thank you so much for your time. We hope you enjoyed this video, and please keep your eye out for future risk management videos.
Thank you all.
Thanks for including us.